2 Meta Slayers! I think the intro is one of my favorite parts.
Fair warning, if you're offended by boobies, this video is not for you. We are all about free the nipple.
We are. I'd flash you, but I don't want to get demonetized. Alright, what are we talking about today, Jake?
We are talking about Hedonites of Slaanesh. Long-awaited book. This is very exciting for this year.
Holy crap.
So exciting. Love this. For the most part, I wanted to actually start Slaanesh last year, but I stopped myself after they made news in reference to the new book coming out. But before we get into this, thank you so much for your likes, subscribes, and comments. A little bit of apologies warranted for the last one. It's not what we said, it's how we said it.
Yeah, there was a little salt.
Yeah. This one is sodium free because we're mega excited. And if you're new to the channel, pretty much what we do is we slay the meta in Warhammer. Sometimes we talk about strategy, tactica, or crack open armies, and pretty much cover whatever sort of Warhammer content, mainly Age of Sigmar at this moment, that we possibly can. So if you're new to the channel, we appreciate your subs. It keeps us going. It keeps us producing more content. If you're already subbed, thank you very much.
So let's just go ahead and jump right into it. We're going to do an overview of the army abilities, and then delve into some demons a little bit. The demons are going to go a little bit faster, so we're going to break this into 2 parts.
Correct. This is part 1.
Uno!
And bear with us. There's a lot to cover. We're just going to try to smash through it. Man, this is a hefty book.
There's a lot going on.
There's a few people that are saying, or like a few of the groups that are saying, oh, man, a lot has actually changed. So yeah, there's no way that we could cover, or we would want to cover, both the Mortals, the new edition of the Mortals models, as well as their rules, into the same book as what has actually changed in the demon side of things. Not so much on the War Scroll, so you have to get past that. You want to dive into how the army overall functions differently using demons.
So, allegiance abilities, let's just start there.
Oh, we're just jumping right into it. Like,
I don't even know what that was.
that was inappropriate.
Okay. Number 1, right off the allegiance abilities page, you notice that the locus of diversion has changed. It used to make enemy units attack last in combat. It was a 4-up, and then it got changed to a 5-up, and then who cares? It's gone. It doesn't matter.
Dude, so much more powerful.
I think so.
So much.
I think so.
Okay.
So now, on a 4-up or a 3-up for greater demons, you target an enemy unit that you're within close combat range to, and they cannot pile in. That is so massive.
At first glance, one might say, oh, that's not that great. But think about it for a sec. You can deny how many attacks.
Well, what's a big predator for a big monster?
I mean, pretty much any sort of horde, like, you
Any
know,
horde.
3 ranks with spears
Any
fighting at you. Any horde. Yeah.
Yeah. And now you
Horde.
not... So now you just come careening into the corner with like a greater demon, and they're going to get 3 attacks at you? Oh no!
Very nice.
That's just going to be massive. It's a major change, and you have to remember to use that ability. Get little tokens, scraps of paper, whatever you got to do to make sure that they don't pile in on you. You have to remember that.
Yeah, and this is pretty much sets the precedence of rules like this on what has changed in the Hedonites book, is the little minor tweaks to it have completely changed what you should remember and what you have to remember in order to really take full benefit from this new army.
Euphoric killers, not a big deal, nothing changed. It's still exploding 6s.
Right.
Unit of 20 or more, which used to pretty much just be demonettes, now breaking immortals a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
They get 2 exploding 6s instead of just 1. Kind of promotes you to build a little bit bigger units.
Right.
Which you should be doing to take objectives anyway.
Right.
Especially with your battle line units.
While I never dove fully into Slaanesh because by the time I got my Shadow and Pain boxes and wanted to start the army, I never actually ran full Slaanesh. So Jay's played a ton of Slaanesh. I have not, just so you guys know. The Depravity points mechanic, the one time I incidentally did a training game with a newer, in their defense, a relatively new, like just Age of Sigmar player. But when I ran that training game as an assist, it was just too much to keep track of in regards to how to score or how to generate depravity points.
It was a nightmare.
Okay, yeah, I guess I was just being PC about it, but no, it was a fucking nightmare. So now how depravity points work, it's so easy. It's user friendly. Your opponent or you do not, or for each unit that does not successfully make or fail a save. Yeah, I guess you can interpret it either way, whichever way your brain works. If you fail a save on your opponent's side or on your side, you score 1 depravity point.
Anytime a wound is not negated. Or if a unit ends the battle shock phase with less models than it started with. Kind of important for some fringe cases. One being getting units back from...
Yeah, like the blink ability from demons,
right.
Yeah.
So if you start with 30, you take some wounds, and then you end up at the end of the battle shock phase with 30, you don't get any depravity for that.
Right.
Those are kind of fringe, though. It doesn't happen too often.
And I've noticed inherently that, oh my goodness, like the points, the depravity points and summoning table has changed. What a discount. It's balanced, which is fair. So within some sub-allegiance abilities, as well as like some character abilities, you're not just like spamming out the summoning points or the depravity points like you used to, because it'd just be broken and busted at that point.
Yeah, I really would.
It was just finely balanced.
I think they did a great job tuning that one in. And a little baby meta slay, little tiny one, itty baby, using the Fane of Slaanesh, the free terrain piece. If you have a hero within 6 inches at the start of your hero phase, you can elect to take a mortal wound, and you roll a die, and then cool stuff happens. Whatever on that, you take a mortal wound. If it's non-negated, guess what?
Depravity point.
For free.
Yeah.
Especially if you have characters that are going to sit back anyway, like the Enchantress, the harp chick. You don't need her front and center. She's a ranged character.
Right.
So, sure, I'll ping a damage on her.
With that alone, major buff to the terrain piece.
Just by itself.
I didn't really see that much utility behind it in the previous book.
Line of sight blocking.
Yeah.
That's what I used it for.
Yeah.
It was an LOS blocker and also something that I put on the table that said, hey, I'm playing Slaanesh.
Yeah.
Look at my cool terrain piece.
Yeah. Free the nipple.
Oh, Jesus. So did you know much about the sub-allegiances beforehand?
I like 2 of them, the Pretenders and the God Seekers.
God Seekers were my jam.
But they had to be very specifically built, which, fair.
Mm-hmm.
But those are the only 2 that really caught my eye when I was diving into the last book.
So sub-allegiances in general, they have changed. Mostly because of how they generated depravity before versus how they generate depravity now. Some of them you have to be in range of 1 to 2 enemy units. Some of them, another one is you have to be in your enemy territory. And the last one, my jam, God Seekers, if you make a charge move with your hero, your general I should say, you get D3 depravity. If you make a charge move with another unit in addition to that, you get D3 plus 1 depravity.
4 is massive. Considering a Keeper of Secrets only costs 8.
8? 12.
12.
12.
12.
Oh god, I
but
wish 8.
still massive.
Turn 2 Keeper for free, boom.
Yeah.
But
I'll just go in my corner.
Let's think about this for a second. You have D3 plus 1, which getting Alpha Strike charge. Oh look, I run, I charge, I move like 10 to 14 inches, and I get 2d6 run in the case of Seekers.
And sacrifice yourself on the terrain piece.
Right.
That's already 1.
So you get 1 there, plus D3 plus 1. So now we're at minimum 3.
Minimum 3.
Minimum 3. And then maximum of
5?
5.
Yeah.
We can math. We said we can.
Yeah.
Plus any spells that you cast in your hero phase, like the Mesmerizing Mirror.
Which you should be casting as Slaanesh.
You have a very powerful spellcaster, so why not? Even just an Arcane Bolt. Now we're looking at another depravity there. So now we're at 6 for turn 1 potentially.
Right.
With no downside.
Which is halfway there from a Keeper of Secrets.
Yeah, so you can be hitting your Keeper of Secrets on turn 2 if things are lined up correctly. Well, technically turn 3, because you earn your depravity at the end of the turn, and then turn 3 is when you can summon. That's the other benefit of the Fane. You can summon within range of that instead of a hero, So if they're trying to clog you up to go, ha ha ha, you can't summon,
Yep.
you still have the Feint available. Something that I'm excited about, just getting right into the demons, the points reduction on the Keeper. Holy crap. So it took it from an auto-include to more of an auto-include.
Right.
I mean, you asked me before that we started filming, should we take 3? I think 3 is a little bit of overkill because you're committing, half your army at 2K. But it's not outside the realm of possibility. Now they're down to 340 points.
Yeah, it was a 30-point discount.
30-point discount.
Right. But yeah, no, he explained it perfectly. Where it's just in the previous book, you almost wanted to run as many keepers as you wanted to because that was basically the most optimal way to generate depravity points and get all your buffs out for your entire allegiance ability, but just not as necessary anymore.
Yeah, it's really not because depravity is so much easier to generate, just in general. And like you pointed out earlier, it's cleaner, it's more streamlined, it's just better. Another notable change is Celeste. He, she, they, them, whatever, will be very PC.
Yeah, because he and she, there's actually 2.
They used to have to trade off which attacks that you had to make, and then they got bonus re-rolls to hit for the second attack. It was just like a whole thing.
Right, re-roll all hits and wounds on the latter profile, which you did not initially choose.
And I've seen people forget about that ability. It's just kind of messy with how it works. Now it's very simple with her ability. All of the attacks happen at the same time, so all 12 attacks happen simultaneously. If you got attacked in the combat phase and they rolled any natural ones to hit, you then get +1 to hit and wound in the same combat phase, which means you actually want to attack second with Celeste.
Right.
Which is weird.
And risky, and that was my comment, where it's like the way that the book has been initially received plays so much like you'd expect Slaanesh to actually play. You got to risk it to get the biscuit.
Right.
Right? And they're just gluttons for punishment.
Shocker.
Yeah. Because that gluttonous character.
That's mortals.
Yeah.
We're not talking about that today.
Next video, but amazing. Anyways, gluttons for punishment. And on top of it, I'm a big fan of mechanics like this where when things are just ironed out a little bit more, where you can spend less time thinking about which weapon do I attack with and which priority. So you can focus more on the tactica on the tabletop instead.
Right. And really that's what we get down to is the most important thing.
Yep.
Great units are great, but tactics win games.
Yes.
So another unit is the Mask. Did go up 10 points. Not a big deal. The Mask was almost an auto-include anyway. Nothing changed with her profile. So now the Mask is still an auto-include at just the 10 point up.
Yep.
She has a forward feel no pain. You can heal wounds or you can get extra attacks. She moves 10, can run and charge. When she piles in 6 and gains the fly ability. The Mask is just great.
Yeah.
And I think it dials in at 150 points, maybe 160. Either way, great for building that depravity. You get hit, you get hurt, you gain a depravity. The next turn, you heal it back.
Right. Jay, what about the Harp Lady, the Infernal and Rapturous?
So...
I said it right.
Nailed it!
Yeah.
So before, each Infernal and Rapturous on the table gave you 1 depravity point. She doesn't have that ability. But could you imagine how broken it would be if she did?
Exactly.
That's just not fair. I'm glad it changed with the new rules. It doesn't bother me at all. And I have 3 of them. I maxed out just rocking 3 depravity every turn for free. And I still don't care.
Yeah, and again, where the balance comes in. Like, if everything did what it did previously, no. That's not a fun game.
It's not. I mean, this book is already really strong.
Right.
So to add, here's an extra 3 depravity on top of that. Hey, 6 that we gained in our turn 1. Now we're at 9. It's just not.
Yeah.
She lost that ability. But what she maintained is anti-wizard control. Any enemy wizards within 24 inches have to re-roll successful casts. On the re-roll, if any results are a double, they take D3 mortal wounds. If that's not scary, I don't know what the hell is.
But wait, there's more.
She also has a shooting attack.
Oh.
Oh, just kidding. She has 2 shooting attacks. You get to choose between 2 profiles. One's a little bit harder hitting, one spreads out the shots. Typically, I spread out the shots, but there has been some French cases where I was like, I just need a bolt.
Yeah. No, I love it. And GW, thanks, man, because y'all just confirmed that we are in a shooting and magic meta.
It's true.
We did time capsule that, by the way.
It's true. Something else to think about. You deny their spell, and then they roll the doubles. They take D3 mortal wounds. That's another depravity. You see where we're going with this? Depravity is so much easier to generate, and summoning is going to be massive.
Right.
So you definitely want to beef up your demonic collection, even if you're playing mortals, because handing out all these mortal wounds, handing out all these regular wounds, you're going to want to have demons available to summon. Smart, GW. Hey, that's a nice little cash grab that you did, but I'm appreciative of it because I get more demons on the field throughout the course of the game.
I like this one.
So I believe she's called the Bladebringer. She's kind of just one of your generic HQs. She's like a budget version of the Mask. Instead of having a 4-up Feel No Pain, she has a 5-up Feel No Pain. Great. She has a good attack profile. She has the Acquiescence spell, which is really cool. It turns off enemy command abilities, so that's pretty cool. It's just overall decent character.
Yeah.
Nothing to scoff at. I occasionally bring them just to filler characters.
Any extra thing that you can bring to the table and shut down the opponent's side is just as powerful as an ability or a utility to give yourself an ability to do some offensive plays. Yeah, I love debuffing.
Yeah.
It's so disruptive.
Past that, not a hell of a lot has changed. A lot of the demons kind of remain the same. Your demonettes they didn't get the discount at a max unit size anymore.
Right, they lost the discount.
Yeah, they lost the 30-point discount.
And that's fair.
I don't think it's that big of a deal. You still have so many other options for battle line in this book. When you look through it and you look at the back of the book, you see battle line, battle line, battle line, battle line, battle line. So just being forced to take demonettes is just not a thing anymore.
Yeah.
So now my question for you guys, or our question for you guys, what's your favorite Slaanesh demon unit? Maybe something we didn't go over. Maybe it's Fiends of Slaanesh. Maybe you just agree with the Keeper of Secrets being a badass. Why? Tell us why. I'm curious as to what your guys' top picks are.
Additionally, I'd love to hear what everybody, or which way everybody's leaning to, because so far I have my opinion on which way I'm going to lean into.
Me too.
Yeah, but we're not going to share, are we?
Nope, not until next week.
Right. Right. But yeah, which way are you guys leaning into? Are you running demon heavy or demon exclusive, mortal heavy, mortal exclusive, or a little bit of both?
Oh, spoiler Celeste.
And is it possible? Is it effective? Is it optimal? Many, many question marks.
So once again, this was only part 1 of our video series on Slaanesh. There might be another one. No.
There will be another one.
There will be another one. There might be 2 more.
Oh.
There is just so much to cover. But I think the last one, if we do release the last one, it'll just be a bonus video, maybe 5 minutes long. But this book is very expansive. And once again, we really want to see what your guys' thoughts are on it. Even if you don't play Slaanesh, are you worried about playing against them? Dude, that'd be rad.
You should be. On that note, keep fighting for what you think is right. Keep slaying that meta.
Like, comment, share, subscribe.
Till next time.